a steam engine that has a single cylinder, engine, one piston about the size of a 2-gallon bucket. Absolutely incredible to see the restoration that's gone on that tractor. First car major. This tractor, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, spent its working life less than half a mile from here at Avonshire and Milton. Started off as a petrol paraffin tractor but has morphed into a diesel. We can tell it's petrol paraffin origin because it's got 2 filler caps on the fuel tank split in half. Petrol to start it, CVO to run it. Fords and Dexter next. That grey Fergie we talked about earlier had a huge effect on the market. And Ford thought, my goodness, we've got to get on and make our version of the grey Fergie. And they came up with the Fords and Dexter. Very, very nicely presented, that tractor, with a lamp-warm cab on. Leading chief member of the local Banbury Vintage Ploughing Society, and a very useful and influential man in the area with what he does in the vintage tractor world. A very, very smart John Deere 60 next. Now John Deere, of course, very much a name that comes with, in current terms, they are market leader. But that tractor in its day, a prairie buster, quite a revolutionary tractor, and very, very smart to see that. So next we have a Renault, a D220, which again highly unusual. We talked about what went on in the war. Well, that standard portion, that green tractor there, over 350,000 of those made during the war, and as I said earlier, incredibly important part of the whole story about how this country just about managed to feed itself throughout the war. Alice Chalmers next, and Alice B, American origin, a very dainty little tractor, and it's really like that precisely so that the driver can see what he's towing. So before the advent of pesticides and things like that, they really relied on towing as the only way of controlling weeds. So that Alice B is designed specifically for that. Blog Cadet next, obviously a garden tractor, international harvester again, very, very smartly turned out, lovely little tractor there with a solar engine in, and the case as well. Good morning. Now, Fordson Model F, this tractor is plus or minus, it's actually 104 years of age. Henry Ford, basically what he did to the car industry, which was chiefly and make it well, is exactly what he did with the tractor industry. 6 million of those were sold in Cup, great to see. Right, moving on, international, what number is this? B250? B250, again as I say, made in Bradford, credited between the first tractor to commercially have a diff lock fitted, which is a way of locking the back wheels together in difficult conditions. Grey Fergie again, as we've already said, such a successful tractor from Harry Ferguson. Made in the Standard Car Works in Banner Lane in Coventry. Over 500,000, I think about 520,000 of those were made. Very, very smart 4-cylinder Matthew Ferguson 35. Just look at that. Absolutely how you would see that in the showroom when it was new. A wonderful restoration. Alice D, Warstein tractor, that would have come over on the least end. The Grey Fergie, essentially because they've invented the hydraulic linkage, they had to make a complete range of implements because before that tractor everything was just towed along. So it's about 50 different implements. Good morning, Leyland Mini. And again, said about that influence of the Grey Fergie. Well, Nuffield that morphed into Leyland had to set to and make a little tractor as well. Another of these wonderful standard horses. Good morning, sir, local tractor. Imagine in the depths of the Second World War you're making 1,000 tractors a week. That's 4,000 wheels, 2,000 mudguards. Such an incredible achievement by the Ford Tractor Organisation. Now into the 1960s, Ford decided to make one range of tractors for the whole world. The 1000 series, known as the 6X project, 2, 3, 4, 5,000, and that is the 3,000. Highly unusual, the Fence, a fixed one. This is an incredibly rare tractor. I don't think I've ever seen another one in the UK with its own bespoke single furrow reversible plough on there. Very, very rare, that tractor in the UK, with a Brixmere cab on it. Good morning, sir. Lovely to see you. Now, French Lavender. Again, the French were very innovative, very clever with the tractors they made. They never seemed to send any before. Now, in terms of quality, the Oliver tractor right up there with the best of them. This is a very, very smart, unrestored tractor in this. It's not a three-wheeler, it's a four-wheel with no front axle essentially, and that allowed it to turn incredibly tightly, working in row crop. Good morning, sir. Ford 2000 again. This is a bit later. A Ford Force 2000. Quite a rare little tractor in the UK now. Central brand of tractors. Again, this tractor could well have come over during the Second World War. Very impressive winch on the back. I should think that tractor probably spent its life in the forestry environment. A really serious tractor there. Again, beautifully turned out, this 35X. This is the sort of upmarket version of the 35. And just feast your eyes on that, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely stunning restoration. David Brown Cropmaster next. Now, David Brown, of course, a huge manufacturing conglomerate. All sorts of different things they made. You'd be interested to know that the Aston Martin DB6, well, the DB stands for David Brown. They had a hand in all sorts of different things. They actually made the rotation gears to transport. Quite a few of the parts still readily available. Massey Ferguson next. Again, very much running along with that Massey Harris pony tractor. This one has a very smart trailer to go with it. French origin, I suspect. W4 next. Again, very nicely presented. Not overdone, but just very nice, very mellow, and a lovely tractor. You should be proud of that, sir. That's nice. And its big brother next. Lots of confusion over International, McCormick, all these different brands. It's basically International Harvester in all sorts of different guises. Good morning, Joe. Nice to see you again. We talked about the 4000 series. This is a variation on it, which is that it's a vineyard version. It's narrower, it's lower, it has an underslung exhaust pipe. And that's really all about the fact that you can travel about in an organisation of good quality. Again, International Harvester again. This will be a UK built tractor, I think. That David Brown name keeps cropping up. So we're now moving into the 1960s with this David Brown 990. A very, very popular tractor. People love these tractors. Synonymous with really being quite reliable, well engineered, quite a heavy tractor. Now we're moving up into the 1980s, 7.7 engine. Now 135, a very successful tractor for Massey Ferguson, actually now quite rare in the UK because so many of them got exported into the third world, into India, in all across Africa. So to see a genuine, nicely presented 135 is quite to say, exported all over the world. Ford Major again, super major, with a mill loader fitted on the front. Of course, the whole thing about tractors is they are very utilitarian. They are built to work and work hard. And that front end loader, by today's standards, is relatively 50. Again, 100 round about that horsepower with a revolutionary cab. That is the height of luxury at the end of the 1980s. Fortune Major again, good morning sir. This is a petrol paraffin. The reason we had petrol paraffin in these later Fortune Majors was that there was a good deal of resistance on farms. People were very wary of diesel. They much preferred to have the petrol paraffin from previous models, but of course it morphed into a diesel. Ferguson 35 next with the Lamborn safety cab on, very much in its working clothes, and we do not take anything at all away from these unrestored tractors, just as much as the restored. Fortune Major again, such a successful brand for Ford. They morphed into all sorts of different things, industrial applications, diggers and cranes and all sorts of things. Here we have the County Crawler, County from Fleet in Hampshire, and their whole story revolves around the fact they would take that basic Ford tractor and they would convert it, in this case, into a track layer. So we have around about 50 horsepower, 45 to 50 horsepower, but with the benefit of Caterpillar tracks, which meant it would basically go more or less anywhere, low ground pressure, which is very much a feature 50, 60 years on. Everybody is very preoccupied with low ground pressure. Well, there was an example. I hope you paid to ride round in that transport box. Have you? Good morning, sir. Again, Crop Master. Everybody thinks, oh, it's got a bench seat on it because that allows you to have a passenger. Well, it's actually not about that at all. It's about the fact that the driver has the ability to sit on either side of the track. International now, my goodness. Again, 56. Very, very useful tractor in its day. That cab was designed by Ford. So, one of those wonderful cabs you were. 95 horsepower, tremendously well engineered. German tractor made at Mannheim in Germany. And a very, very creditable tractor, becoming quite collectible. BMC Mini again, and we talked earlier about that Grey Fergie influence on the market. Well, BMC, which became Leyland, at that stage that was made, was still a Nuffield. And the Nuffield 695, I think it's fair to say there are not many of these about. This is a homemade version. The driver of this tractor set to, and he managed to shoehorn a 6-cylinder engine, so that took the horsepower from 65 horsepower to 95 horsepower. And it's made a very nice and a very useful tractor out of it. Thank you, sir. Automator again, and again, just look at that. As we've already said, 60 or 70 years on a farm, and it falls into the hands of the preservation movement, and we get to see a fabulous example. Quite an early tractor there, very, very smart to see. With a tipping trailer on again. Automator again, 52 horsepower here. This is rigged out with wheel weights on the back, completely unrestored. This was outbound, and I know a good deal of heart searching goes on with some of the owners about should we restore it, shouldn't we restore it. Well, a tractor of that quality, I would suggest is better off left as it is, because it's a very, very nice, genuine, unmolested tractor. Great to see, thank you. Now, a real treat for us today, Alice Chalmers Cleaner Combine. One can only really wonder a 36 or a 305. I think that one is. And again, real privilege and a real pleasure to see that size and about 100 times the price. So great to see that here. Now, another Grey Fergie. I've yet to quite discover what's going on with this colour scheme, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, isn't it wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, a highlight for me today, because I think the word hedgerow probably features in this. This is a complete basket case, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. But this is as it was found in the hedge, a derelict tractor with a loader, with a powered rotavator on the back. And this just shows you the effort that people go to restore these tractors. Because my goodness, this is what we've actually got here. I suspect it was probably the farm manager's car at one time. That lovely little Austin. Right. Now, Mr. Milton, good morning, sir. The concept of spade lugs in difficult conditions, you fitted these spade lugs. Interestingly enough, they started life during the war when there was terrible shortages of rubber, so the steel wheels were what people fitted. This one has a Cameron Gardner rear loader on the back. The concept with that was very much that the weight was over the driven wheels. Not the easiest thing to use, and very many aspirin got used for people suffering with stiff necks. So now, yesterday we interviewed some, but we didn't get them all. So I wonder how we're going to do this. I think we'll start at the back this time, not at the front, at the back. So we'll get you guys just coming around here. It turned out wheel weights on there, full set of front and rear weights. And are you thinking that you will restore, or are you going to leave it alone?
You say as it is, you can only find them once like this. Anyone can restore them, but find them like this. And also finding the parts to complete them is not an easy task.
Well, I completely agree with you. That's great to see, and thank you very much. A nice local tractor. Thank you. Now, this trailer on here, supplied by Broughton Wilkes, who were very much a leader, I suppose, in and around this area. They were very influential in Banbury and supplied a terrific lot. I think this is probably, yes, a weekly trust. Some of them go and run away and hide, and I can't find anybody to talk to. Nigel! He's not paying attention, ladies and gentlemen. Nigel! No, you can't hide from me, I'm afraid. Now, this is actually your son's tractor. How old is Ashley? 16. Now, tell me what we've got here.
It's a 1056.
Well done, guys. Just do feast your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. A really stunning lot of tractors for you this weekend. So nice to be back at Bloxham. It is a real heartwarming heavy horse as well, I might say. So well done all you guys. Tremendous to see such a diverse lot of tractors. Predominantly English tractors, but a few foreigners as well. Really good to see. So we're just going to be 5 minutes while they peel off and go back to their static display. And as I say, do talk to the owners, because some fascinating insights into the history of some of these tractors were bought last week.
No, he said he's alright. Just now I want to be walking. We're going to walk.
Massey Ferguson 25. Now this completely threw me yesterday. Every day is a school day on this job. You're always learning, and this thing came in the ring and I thought, what on earth is that? It turns out it's a French Ferguson that spent its life in Canada and has then come back to the UK, a very, very unusual little tractor. Next, an early Fortson Major, round about 41 on 2 horsepower, 6 forward speeds, made at Dagenham. As I say, a tremendously successful tractor in terms of the Ford tractor story. Now, my goodness, a real treat for you, this wonderful, wonderful Latil timber tractor that has a Latil engine in it, a French tractor, and we think these days, oh my goodness, you know, we're so advanced and so clever, we've just come up with four-wheel drive and we've just come up with four-wheel steering. Well, in 1930, that Latil had those features. Incidentally, that tractor was more expensive than a Rolls Royce in 1930. We talked earlier about restoration, and this Field Marshal really is the pinnacle of that. How times have changed. Now, just while I've got you here, can we promote the Blakesley show, which is the next time we'll probably be able to see this. So tell us where and when that is. So Blakesley show, obviously at Blakesley.
Well, they're prize winners, these.
Oh, are they? Oh, great, yeah.